Morning, everybody. Here we are live on the Peroni and Pryor show. We've got a special guest first up, Dr. Hardie. Looking good over there, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's do a quick shout out to our sponsors, Barron Insurance, Lily Ann Cabinets, Indian Creek Zoo, Peroni for Supervisor, Jacob Supply, and Mulch King. We thank you, sponsors, for this. There's a lot that goes into this show. So, Dr. Hardie.
Yes.
Man, it's funny. Every week, you know, somebody's hairstyle is even more out of control. And Dr. Hardie's, yours is out of control, my friend.
It was out of control even before.
I know. You guys are lucky I showered before, because before I went in the shower, it was about 4 inches higher.
Oh, I didn't know. He's wearing a bouffant or something. Is that what they call that?
I spruced myself up for this group.
I've been watching your Facebook stuff at home, and what do you call it, the gray helmet?
Oh, the gray helmet?
Gray helmet.
Yeah, because when it actually dries more, I'll shake my head, and it rocks back and forth.
Wow. Well, feel fortunate. At least you have hair. Some don't. So,
Dr. Hardie, tell us a little bit about yourself. We all know you own Pinnacle Eye Group in Lambertville, which we love, and
great.
Tell us a little bit about your family and how you got into the business.
Exactly. So, as Paul had just said, you know, I'm one of the owners in the Pinnacle Eye Group with Dr. Bob Lehman. I've been there 10 years now. Which doesn't feel like that, but you know, time flies. So a little bit about myself. My wife Holly and I, she is also an optometrist and works at our location, is we live here in Bedford, so we enjoy being local and in the community. We have 2 children, a boy and a girl, who are 4.5 and 3, and they keep us very busy.
I see you dressed up in your costumes with your kids sometimes. You guys look like you have a great time.
Absolutely. You know, the best thing to be right now during a pandemic is a superhero.
Oh, yeah.
So
exactly.
Get in your costume and go.
Any function you ever go to that Dr. Hardie's at, his suits stand out everywhere. He's got the all-American suits. He's got the golf outings and everything like that. So he's.
Oh, I know.
I added, just so you guys know, I did add a Michigan State Spartans sport coat that is all Spartan helmets all the way around it. So I didn't want to disappoint, so that'll make an appearance at some event.
I think that'll disappoint, all right. I changed my mind about going there.
So, as well as on top of owning Pinnacle Eye, you're the vice president of the BBA?
Yes, correct. Vice president, and I guess you'd say in June now the incoming president of the BBA.
Really?
So,
well, congratulations.
Yeah, so
moving up in the world, or down. Right? Some would say it's down.
It depends what way you're looking at things. Yeah, it's exciting though.
So talk to us about the BBA. I know this is an interesting time for everybody, obviously, but BBA, who is a strategic player in our community, with creating an environment for businesses that's attractive and friendly. What are they doing right now? I mean, the trade fair is the biggest thing for everybody in Bedford for business-wise every year, and that was postponed. I don't know, canceled. Where it's at right now.
That went on for 30 straight years. I mean, it's the first time it's ever happened.
We're in, obviously, as everyone's been saying around the country, unprecedented times. You know, we're in a situation where, so we had to make the tough decision to postpone the trade fair for now. We are still exploring the option of possibly doing something responsible here in the fall, depending on, how schools open up really is what it'll be, because we historically, as you know, have always done it at the Bedford High School. So we're just kind of looking into that. There'll definitely be more information to come on that in the future here. But the Bedford Business Association has been in our community for, as Al said, well over 30 years now. And our sole goal is really to allow the small business in the community, small and large both, but typically small because we're a smaller knit community, to try to help buy Bedford always and kind of grow each other's businesses organically and locally. So the trade fair has always been a great, wonderful avenue for people because they're able to kind of show their wares in one specific location and, get like 12 to 15,000 people that'll go through over the course of 2 days there and say, oh, I didn't know there was that lawn and landscape company there. Oh, I just moved to Bedford. I've been looking for a dentist, or an eye care provider and stuff like that. So we definitely are hoping to do that. Along with that, though, because we know a lot of the small businesses in the area and our businesses in general are struggling. The Bedford Business Association, we've decided to create a program. And in our program, we're hoping that it'll be well embraced by some of the other businesses in the community that maybe are a little bit better off than some of us that have had to shutter our doors a little bit. But the goal really is to allow for $50 someone that's in a service care industry, like one of the banks or an insurance agency or something that really doesn't have gift cards or gift certificates to sell, what we're hoping for them is that they would consider for $50 buying a gift card to, let's say, like Quimbys or Mason Jar, Forest View, or one of those locations. Even, our eye care facility does sell for towards glasses. And what you basically would do then is the business that buys it, so let's say it's an insurance agent for $50, they're then given advertising time on the BBA Facebook page with our constant contact emails that are going out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Members. And the unique part of what was generated by this kind of thought process we put together is that insurance agent then, over the course of a week, gets all these blasts out into the community. And then the idea ends up being that during that business can say, hey, I would like comment 10 that the public comments on about their business to be the one that's going to get that $50 gift certificate to Quimbys or Forest View or whatever it ends up being. So in a way, the public gets pulled into it because they're encouraged to comment on what that insurance agency has done for them, or if they've know of a friend that's had a great experience. And then it's kind of like a little raffle in a way, someone will be surprised and end up winning that. So it's a win for some of the businesses that are struggling, and it's also a win for some advertising opportunity for that business that does purchase the gift certificate or gift card. So.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And you guys have really been forward thinking a lot with the BBA. I know your online presence is really gone. Now you're doing an app? Are you guys doing an app?
We are. So that'll be kind of nice. So as many of you remember, we've always had the Bedford Business Association directory,
right.
The BBA directory. It was always in print. We still do offer it in print in certain capacities at certain retail outlets we have in the community. But because of that, and because of the changing dynamics with everything, people are liking to go more digital, more stuff like that. So we've modified. So the app has been modified. The directory has been modified and been put on our website. But now we're taking it, as Paul was saying, one step further in looking at doing an app where someone can go into like your iPhone or Apple store on Google and the Android Play Store, and you'll be able to download that. And on that app, you'll have just different things going on at the BBA. Mm-hmm. You would have the directory, obviously, stuff like that. That's available at a person's fingertips, which is kind of neat.
Well, I think around here too, that's a big thing, because when the BBA started, I mean, there was no social media, no nothing.
Right.
The trade fair was really kind of launched them, and now as we look over the landscape of our businesses, we've got quite a few choices. I mean, I can remember going back when Dr. Lehman was on Summerfield Road.
Sure, absolutely.
And it was just him. And so we need those kind of things. So I'm glad that you guys are developing that.
Yeah.
So your business is kind of shut down due to this order. What are you guys doing to kind of plan for a date? I mean, have you been writing the governor? I mean, what you guys doing?
We have, I've spoken, obviously, I've spoken to our Michigan representatives, and also I actually called our federal representative too, because it's just something that I think there's a safe way and a positive way to keep business moving in the state of Michigan rather than being kind of at a grinding halt. What we're doing specifically at our practice, and what we actually had instituted before the stay home, stay safe for ourselves, since, we are down, Paul, as you said, just to urgent and emergent care at the moment. But the plan for us is the doors are locked. We have a lot of stuff on our door explaining to call the office. When you do call the office, one of our front desk people will answer it, and they will inform you that if you are going to be coming to the facility, that your temperature is going to be taken the moment you come in. There's hand sanitizer right at the door. As far as glasses adjustments and stuff go, some of the important things that people really like, that's being done curbside. We're trying to keep our facility socially distanced and in a very, very safe capacity. Everything is sterilized after someone moves from room to room, et cetera. So we really wanted to put everything, and we are encouraging. I kind of saw this coming on the horizon, and we've made the decision to say that you need to wear a face mask. This was even prior to Governor Whitmer making the face mask comment, just that for the safety of our staff, the patients, and the doctors, just to, while you're in the facility, to have a face mask on, just it helps reduce the chance of.
Now, did I hear a rumor that you were going to spearhead go out and break your glasses day? So is that true? I want to clear that up.
I would say that's very false. So whoever gave you information, bad intel.
I tell you what,
bad intel.
I just got my glasses from. I'm not breaking them. I'm dying right now.
I got my glasses from.
I plan on having them for a long time.
I know. I went from
hold up for a long time. That's the best part.
I went in there to see Dr. Hardie. I was able to see fine until I walked out, and then I was like, "What do you mean? What's this cost?"
Now,
that poke in the eye that hurt.
I see you wearing Michigan State. You don't really like them, or is that costume?
Or is that?
Come on, guys.
Or did you get it like a free ride there or something?
No. I did my undergraduate there, so yeah, I'm a diehard Spartan. I bleed green. Yeah, even more than the Buckeye side of me.
Buckeye? What?
Yes.
We let you over the border?
You did. So Paul's hat is offending me, just so you know.
Oh my gosh! Jeez, I would have worn mine too if I would have known that.
So your wife doesn't cut hair, obviously.
Right.
She can't cut your hair. Like give you a little trim. Mine's gonna do mine tonight because mine's kind of out of control too.
Yeah,
So
I just
can't.
You
the
just
slick
need a
and back thing isn't working anymore.
No, you just need a Flowbee
I
cut
wear a
on that
hat.
one. Do the Flowbee.
I'm gonna let her try giving me a little side trim today. Inch off the top, little quarter
I'm just
trim on
gonna
the
say
side.
you're a brave man.
Hey, if you guys got some scissors,
it's
I can
getting
do
too
some
bad.
cuts right now. I watch them at True Cuts. I got this under control. I can do it.
Al, listen, if they can't
Andy,
cut
get me
in
some
barbershops,
scissors.
you're not cutting hair.
I was gonna
Well,
say
he goes 6 feet away.
if he's got
We'll have
his
to get our red scissors from the government center.
Or get the tree
ribbon
trimmers. Yeah, those are the tree trimmers. We can do the tree trimmers on
I
that
mean,
mop.
as long as you're socially distanced, I would think you would give a pretty good haircut.
Yeah.
With the tree trimmers, even.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd lose an ear, maybe.
Well, there is a bit of good
Or
news.
that nose, man. You hit that nose a mile away, dude.
That's right. This
Scissors
is
lob that nose.
good Polish Russian
off.
nose.
And you could stand to lose half that daggum nose.
I almost did,
Anyway,
but you know what? When I went to the plastic surgeon and I got the price to have it fixed, you know what he told me? He looked at my wife and she was so beautiful. He said, "You got her, didn't you?"
That's true.
I said, "I just saved $6,000. Thank you."
Yeah. The nose.
So there you go. Exactly. I have a distinct feature. Exactly.
Sorry, Al.
That's
We're
all right.
always getting on the nose.
That's right. I know.
It's hard to get off of it.
You know,
once you're on
I'll
it.
tell you. It's a good thing.
Paul,
It's
it's
a good
defining-
thing.
it's
It's a
defining
good thing
feature.
I can't hit children right now. I'd get arrested.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Well,
hey,
anyways,
there
yeah.
is some good news out there. Chilinos is opening up today.
Chilinos.
Chilinos. I call it
You say
Chilinos.
cha with
You're
a CH?
okay because you're
Chilinos.
because you have an Italian background. I don't. So
My
okay,
gosh.
Chilinos.
You should hear him.
Right.
He bust up a name like you wouldn't believe.
Well, the good thing is they're going to open up.
Oh, that's good. When?
And matter of fact, today at 9 o'clock. And they're.
Why did they close though?
I think they felt because that store, part of it, they went in there and they kind of redid it, like the aisles and everything. Because when you're in there, you're pretty close. I mean, it's pretty tight.
Because they didn't have to close.
No, so what they did is, I guess they cleaned everything. They made their aisles bigger and so on. So
I'll tell you what, Chilinos has been around a long time.
Oh, they have.
I remember when my mom used to get lunch meat there, and
Oh yeah, when they did the deli.
and Sam, hey Carol,
They are some hard-working folks. I mean,
well, they hit it. They had a great idea. You can get your fruits and vegetables from them.
Well, what I like about it is if you go in there like on a Saturday and Sunday, you run into people from all over the world virtually because all the different cultures. It's interesting in terms of things they're buying, and it's oh wow, they're probably gonna make something really good, So it's kind of like to me, it's like a little mini Eastern Market in Detroit.
Right,
you get that flavor of, hey, I'm not just walking into a vegetable place. I'm walking into kind of like a multinational kind of place.
And it's good to hear that they're opening up, because for local business to try to continue thriving, doing that is important. And I know from some of the social media that I'm on personally that people are very disappointed to hear that they were closed for that period of time because a lot of people I think use the services often. So.
Exactly. So
So
I did hear. Is your nickname at the office like Dr. Jimbo?
It's not actually.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
It's going to be Dr. Graybeard after this is all done.
See, I get all these rumors. I got
Jimbo?
inside connections to your office.
Oh, Paula, your friend Paula.
That's right.
Paula Lipper. I think Paula Lipper's out there watching. I love Paula Lipper, man.
I've known Paula for a long time.
How'd you steal it from the bank, anyways?
We got lucky, Paul.
Man,
Paula's
great.
The good Lord gave us Paula, is what I say. So
what a joy. Yeah. She's just such a nice lady.
Yeah, she cracks me up. And needless to say, there's never a dull moment around the office anymore.
I've known her really my whole life, from church and from Jay, her son, and stuff. So
yeah.
She knows a little bit too much about me.
Yeah, I went to school with Paula. I think your public records say it all. Everybody knows about Paulie. So,
it's true.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate that. So, Dr. Hardie, anything else you want to leave the viewers with about the BBA? Anything we can be doing? Obviously, support your local business any way you can.
Yeah.
That adopt a senior thing they did.
Oh, that was pretty cool. I like that.
How cool was that? That every senior that's graduating this year was adopted.
I think it's pretty cool.
And I want to give a huge shout out to the Bedford Community Foundation. They adopted 30 kids.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's pretty
30.
good.
They don't get enough credit really for everything they do for this community.
No, they're kind of low key.
They are low key, man, but they do so much with scholarships and just stuff like that. Hey, we'll adopt 30 kids. They call because I'm the vice president of the community foundation, so we had to kind of decide if we wanted to do it or not. But 30 kids. So I'm putting my basket together right now, but that's a good way to support local. Go buy gift cards from your local vendors, Quimbys, Forest View, all the Doolittle's restaurants.
Yep, all the restaurants.
You know what? And it's the little things, too. Just go buy a can of food for somebody, too. If you know what I mean? We've had food drives like last weekend, watching the people on Lewis Avenue, and MCOP was there handing out foods. You know what? And these weren't folks that would never, probably ever go and ask for food, But here they are. They're on unemployment. They've never probably been on unemployment. We've said this before.
Right.
So if they don't have a lot of places to turn, so just buying a little can of food. But there is hope for unemployment because my wife is on unemployment.
Yeah.
And she had to wait for like 5-6 weeks.
Right.
I mean, it's not a perfect system. So there is hope. We were like, okay, so it will happen.
Yeah,
if you filed, it'll happen.
You bring up a good point, Al. Right now, it's backed up a little bit, trying to wade through that. I know
it is. Yeah, a lot of people are frustrated, or they need food, or sometimes they just don't know where to turn to.
Right.
So, like I said, sometimes that can of food, it's all it takes. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Dr. Hardie, we love you, man.
Thanks for being here.
As always,
You're always
it's
so
a
much fun in the
pleasure.
community and everything you guys do and how involved you are. We appreciate you.
Hey, can you check out these glasses? Because I still can't see out of them. No.
Curbside pickup, Al.
Exactly.
Curbside pickup.
So before we
They are working, I have to say.
Before we get our next guest,
They are working.
we're going to say goodbye to my friend here. I
Thank
know
you,
you
guys.
got
Thank you,
a
Doctor.
Zoom meeting at 8.
Got a whole nother meeting going on.
Got a whole
after
other
this, so
meeting. So
I appreciate your time, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you for
Oh,
feeding
thanks
the
for
community.
coming.
take care, my friends.
That's good.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
I love those shoes, by the way.
Where?
If you ever get rid of them, let me know. Don't ever give them away. Give me a call.
Yeah. Paul, he's already got his eye on him. He'll take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put them little.
Throw the
Put
matching
that
belt. Throw the
You ever
matching
put
belt
those-
in there for him too. He'll take that too.
You ever put those cedar? Come on in, Clinton. Come on in.
Yeah,
this is our next
cedar.
guy. Them cedar slips in there. Mm-hmm. Man, those are unreal. I'm
They keep
seriously,
your
'cause
shoes
my
nice.
feet
No, they
stunk. I mean, seriously, I had to get rid of shoes because my feet stunk so
Yeah,
bad.
and they keep your shoes
I bought them
for 'em.
cedar slippies in there, whatever they're called, the cedar inserts.
No,
more stink.
you
Yeah.
should.
I put them back and forth from each pair of shoe every other day, every time I wear them, and
When you have good leather shoes,
Cured
that's
it.
what you need to do.
perfect. Clinton,
How's it going?
you got hired as the full-time chef for Quimbys and Charlie Mops. Oh, you got to come closer to the mic.
Oh,
The viewers will be
got
yelling.
it.
I'll be getting messages on here. I'll be
Right.
getting yelled at.
Got it.
So you got hired even closer, about 2 inches.
Yeah,
But they
almost kiss it. There you go.
they almost kiss it, yeah. So the Charlie Mops Quimbys, you're the head chef,
Yes.
which is probably interesting running 2 restaurants being the head
It's
chef.
challenging. It can be challenging at times, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
so-
not boring ever. So
Great
and
industry
then you know
to
this
be in.
guy
huh?
a little bit too.
yeah, a little bit.
Oh, big.
Oh yeah, I've known Clinton since I don't know when he was born, and that kind of thing. So I helped raise him. What a kid. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So
I remember when he had hair and that little lime green. What was that car? What'd you do to that thing? Added some plastic fenders or
Yeah,
something?
something like that.
Yeah. come pulling up my driveway. I thought we were going to be, have a gang war or something. I was like, who is this kid?
So tell us about Charlie Mops and Quimbys. So are you going to be opening up Friday, tomorrow to serve food?
Quimbys open this week, Monday, for carry out only.
For carry out only. I knew that. But Charlie Mops, I heard, is open.
Charlie
tomorrow.
Mops is going to open Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Monday, yes.
So Monday, Charlie Mops.
Yes.
And Monday was Quimbys. So Quimbys is serving lunch, dinner?
Just dinner, 4 to 8.
4 to 8.
Yeah, half
Quimbys?
the menu is Quimbys, some of Quimbys' favorite items, and the other half is some of Charlie Mops' favorites.
Nice.
So you can still get some Charlie Mops dishes at Quimbys for this week. Next week, it's going to switch up a little bit.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the menu. What's on that people can expect?
From Charlie Mops, we have like the French onion soup. We have the French onion mushrooms, the lamb chops, the burgers. We're definitely doing the burgers there. We're Charlie Mops. And then Quimbys, we're doing most of the sandwiches, the chicken bruschetta, ciabatta, the French dip, the Reuben, the Midwest Philly, stuff like that. So
nice.
Did you get my hamburger back on there? I keep
No.
telling you,
I
want that. No, yeah, the Alburger steak with that shrimp stuffing or whatever. He won't put it back on the
So
menu.
you guys deliver or just pick up only?
just pick up only.
Okay, pick up only.
Pick up only.
So there you go, people. If you want to get some Charlie Mops, Monday.
Yes.
If you want to get some Quimbys, right now.
Yeah.
Tonight, 4 to
now,
8.
now, are you going to take credit cards over the phone? Too?
Yes, we're trying to get people to pay with credit card over the phone when they call. That way, when they come in, we're just dropping the food off to them. They wait out in the car and they call up, and then we just run the food out to them real fast. So
Nice.
Clint's kind of an interesting story. I don't think we could write a book on him, but he is an interesting story. But anyway,
you could write a book on me.
he comes from a restaurant family. His brother's also a chef, and Clinton got into this. Talk about your grandfather. Didn't he have a restaurant on Douglas Road?
Yeah, my grandpa had a restaurant on Douglas Road. Over the line, it was in Toledo. It was called the Gracewood Grill. It was around for, I think, over 20 years. He retired and sold it before I was even born, though. And then, I hit my 20s and needed something to do. And I ended up getting in the restaurant field. And then I got my brother in it. And all my relatives are good cooks. They all do their own thing, so.
And can you tell the audience how I was your inspiration over the years and your guiding force?
Well, Al, just so the people know the connection, Clinton's Al's ex-son-in-law.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, but they have a very
But
good
I don't.
relationship still.
Yeah, I don't consider Clinton my ex. He'll be my son-in-law forever because I like him.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
that's just the way it is. We can always joke and everything else, and he did. He went to Schoolcraft College. You need to understand, to get through Schoolcraft College, that is a tough school for culinary.
Yeah.
And him and his brother both went through there. So I keep urging them both that maybe one day they should just open up their own restaurant, which would be good.
Maybe.
Yeah. So so tell me what's going on, like with, because you're doing carry out and that kind of thing. Do you think your workers are going to be able to come back, Clinton? Do you see the industry coming back like in full force, or do you think people are just going to say, you know what, I'm done with it? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, we have brought some of the workers back. We are only offering curbside delivery right now, but what you don't see when you're waiting out in your car is we have employees inside. We're just detailing the whole place. We've painted. We fixed any little minor thing that could have been wrong. We cleaned out all the vents. We painted. All the equipment has been completely scrubbed down. We reorganized. We're redoing the menu at both places, so when we do open to the public, we're going to have brand new menus.
A new restaurant.
A new restaurant, yeah.
That's awesome.
New menu items at each place. We're fortunate enough to have banquet halls at each place, and so we're expecting when we open, we're expecting the governor to say you have to have throwaway menus. You can't have a menu that you hand to one person and you pick it up and hand it to another person. So we're expecting to have paper menus. Probably not going to see ketchup and mustard on tables anymore. If you want it at a restaurant, it's probably going to be in a packet.
See, that's going to be harder for Paulie. Paulie just likes to take them by the jar when he goes home. So those packets he's going to have a hard time putting them all in his pocket.
Listen, I'm not stealing jars of ketchup from places. Now, if they have free samples,
Yeah.
kids are going to get full.
Yeah, they do them
Free samples,
32-ounce free samples that are on the table.
Right.
Yeah.
But we've been just reworking the each place, just reorganizing how we're gonna do things. But
Well, there couldn't have been too much to do with Charlie Mobs. The place is
we
only
still
a year old.
We
Scrubbed her
repainted.
down,
They
huh?
just rented a buffer the other day, so we're just making everything look brand new again. And that's what's
Nice.
important. As for the industry, and nobody knows what's going to happen. My personal prediction is half the people are going to want to get back out, and the other half are still going to be scared a little bit. So I think it's going to be slow going at first. Like I said, we're lucky enough to have banquet hall at both places, so we're immediately converting that to extra seating. So we expect to, when governors like you guys can open, they're going to say half capacity. So we're reworking our dining room to fit more people in there, spaced out. Some of the things I brought you guys each, we turned a bunch of koozies into face masks.
Oh, those are neat.
Cool
Oh,
idea. Our bar manager at
Look at that.
Charlie Mops came up
I
with
like
that
that.
idea.
Good idea.
Nice. Look at that.
Oh, I like that.
Little
So
face mask you had at home. Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
a good
so-
idea.
So we've been staying busy. Like I said, we've already been bringing back people. We started with just a few last week, and then this week we brought back more people. Next week we're gonna bring back more.
That's the crazy thing. And just hearing you say that, we're ketchup, mustard on the table, and paper.
I know
Yeah.
it's the little
It's
things you don't.
changing. I mean,
right.
there's
You're not
so
gonna
many.
see-
but
yeah.
but keep in mind though. Keep in mind, that's why a lot of people get the flu though too.
Well, yeah, when you touch a lot of things.
Every
and-
winter, that's why so many people die. You're going to see less deaths from the flu next year because of all these changes.
Right.
Protocols and churches and everywhere. Normally, people go
Well,
sick. I don't.
right.
You're not going to be able to drop your kid off sick to school anymore.
No, and you know what? And I think a lot of employers are going to take that stance because we all know about the die-hard person who comes in. Oh, I've never taken a sick day. Well, how many people did you get sick over the years by you coming into the office?
Andy, let me
or
know if I
whatever?
need to talk. Well, I know we're losing
That's right.
viewers with
Are
Al
we-
talking.
yeah.
Is Al talking too much?
Or do I just need to be the pretty face,
Let me know.
Andy?
Let me know.
I need to
I
be-
love that
yeah.
hat though, Al.
I know. I'm a golfer, man.
You have a new hat every week.
I know. I got like about 30 of them. I'm a hat guy. I've been a hat guy since I was a kid. See, I don't wear. See, I have hair, so it doesn't matter. I wear a hat just because I like to, not to.
It's a nice head of hair.
I know it is.
For being 70.
I know exactly.
Are you 74?
No, going to be 75.
75.
You wish?
61?
No, I'm at 62 now.
62 now.
That's right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Didn't know. Well, Clinton, thanks for being on.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah,
It's
it's
good
been
to see
great.
ya. You guys do a great job
Yeah.
over there. You got good food.
Like I said, we're running 4 to 8 for now. If business picks up, we might change the hours, but we're sitting back waiting for restaurants to be able to open.
One last thing. Do you see real quick? Will you be getting into more catering? Because like when people want to have parties, they might be less inclined to go to a place. Are you guys going to ramp that up at all? Or
We have a catering operation we run. I mean, we're just waiting to see what they say about what the rules are going to be. But I mean, we're ready to go. If the governor says, "Hey, you can do off-site catering," and
They catered a party for me last year, man. Clinton came and they did it.
that was a good one.
Fantastic.
Yep.
good.
So, yeah. So we appreciate you being on, dude.
Yep.
Hey, no problem.
You guys, our viewers, support them. Support what Charlie Mops and
Come to
Quimbys are
Quimbys
doing.
and
Quimbys.
Charlie Mops.
Yeah.
So,
All right, man. It's good to see
hey,
you.
no problem.
I'll be
Thanks.
calling you. Remember
Yep.
that discount, bro.
So before our next guest comes on, she can come on over. We want to thank our sponsors real quick: Barron Insurance, Lillian Cabinets, Indian Creek
Yep.
Zoo, Paul Peroni for supervisor, Jacob Supply and Moss King. We spelled your name wrong on the thing. Actually, Andy did spell the name wrong. 2 S's. It's only 1 S.
I know, and it's even
I-
Nusbaum, not Nusbaum. So you would
Well,
think.
the reason I say Nussbaum is because I know some
Oh,
Nussbaums.
so you messed
I've
up
known
her name?
some Nussbaums.
You
It's hard
messed-
for me to say Nussbaum. I could say it, Al. You can't say a lot of the names.
Nusbaum. See, I knew her name. You didn't know her name. You know what, that's-
Nusbaum.
Jeez. How was it me?
Was it? Yeah, and then with the
I thought you
Pinnacle
double
Eye
checked
Group,
that.
I had to call him with Pinnacle Eye Group because somebody put Pinnacle Media on there.
Oh,
What the
I
heck is
do
going
media.
on? You know what? I'm gonna
Andy, you're the
I'm gonna
producer.
fire
You're supposed-
both
Do
of
you
you.
guys
You're
have a
supposed-
manager
Andy-
I could talk to here,
Well,
please?
yeah, Andy's supposed to check that. He's the producer.
So,
You know I'm multitasking. Sometimes things slip through the cracks.
So Kristen, you're part owner in Barron Insurance
Yes, sir.
Agency. Also, is it 2 companies? It's just Barron Insurance Agency, or you partner with the what's the other line?
Well, you do
Just-
financial stuff too, don't you?
Yeah, it's Barron Insurance and Financial Services.
Okay.
We do life insurance. We can do annuities. We partner with financial advisor because that's kind of its own animal. So our specialty is the personal lines with home, auto, business, all that good stuff. So, and now with the reform coming up, it's gotten
Yeah,
even
so
more interesting.
I see that. I keep hearing pros and cons on that. Some people are saying, yeah, this is good, and some people
So
are
just
saying,
so the viewers know that we're here to talk about, Barron Insurance is one of our sponsors, and I actually have them for my insurance agency. And,
so do I.
Saved a ton of money. Actually, I saved almost a couple $1,000s on my home and auto. So get a
Happy
quote.
to help with that.
It was really cool. But they're here to talk about the reform and everything you need to be aware of and what you need to do to make sure you have your savings.
Yep.
Because it can be up to what, 20%?
Yes, but that's
15?
also a common misconception right now. So there's a lot going on saying, oh, you save 16% if you choose this option, 40% if you choose this. But that's only off, and I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer on this, but that's only off a single line item on your insurance. So when people are seeing 16% savings, 40% savings, please know it's not off your total premium. Like if your annual premium's $2,000, you're not saving 40% on $2,000. You're saving 40% on the medical line of your policy.
Now that's called the PIP, right?
The PIP, yep.
Okay, the
Personal injury protection.
Which is how much of that of the 2,000 is the insurance?
It's a good portion. A lot of times it can be anywhere from $300, and that's just for one vehicle, $300 for the year, up to I've seen $700, $800, $900, just depending on a person's
So you can
rates.
save potentially a couple $100s on your insurance bill.
Easily. But I think there's a misconception that it's, I'm going to save this percentage of my full premium.
Well, what a good timing for it, though.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
like I pay my insurance for the year.
Right.
I try to get maximum savings.
Right. And you got it.
by paying it. So like if I
Well, he doesn't pay that
but
much on
mine's
that
due at the
moped,
end of the
does he?
month. Now, if I pay mine right now, do I get a refund for
Right.
that?
So what happens, and something very important for people to know, is if you have these changes are going into effect July. You can make changes effective July 2nd. So anybody whose policy renews July 2nd and later, they're already getting renewal packets with options and what the cost difference is if you choose different limits. For those people whose policies don't renew until October, December, March of next year, you would have to contact your agent to make those changes. Or like our agency, we're proactively reaching out to all of our clients, sending letters, letting them know what options they have, getting their interest. So we can call them mid-May, June when the rates are available and provide what the difference in premium is. So if we're not proactively reaching out to our clients or our clients aren't calling us, then they're waiting to get that packet until their renewal. So if you right now have a policy, like I said, that doesn't renew until next March, nothing's going to change about your policy until you contact your agent or your agent contacts you to go over changes and makes changes. So even though your policy renews in March, you can still make those changes now and see the savings.
Will that have if say your policyholder doesn't call you, is there a default?
Well, your policy will just remain as is, and then let's say your policy is renewing in March and you still don't opt to make any changes, it just stays unlimited. The other thing too,
But you're going to pay more for that, though, right?
not necessarily, no, because
okay.
the MCCA fee is going down. So some people are going to see a savings without making any changes.
So it'll just automatically they're going to feel. So what was the big controversy? Because some people were saying, well, hey, we're not going to have lifetime medical anymore. I understand there's a huge insurance fund that people were like, well, who's being accountable for that? I mean, I forget. I don't know. It was over $1 billion or a couple billion sitting in there for unfunded liabilities, I guess. So explain that lifetime medical, because I think that was one of the real sticking
if you
points.
keep the unlimited medical, you'll still have that coverage. Like you still have the option to keep unlimited coverage. It's just whether you opt to go. The other options are $500,000 or $250,000. If you have Medicaid, you can get $50,000. If you have Medicare Parts A and B, you can completely choose zero. So you can still have the unlimited on there.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about like our seniors, okay? Because they get Medicare and that type of thing. They get into an accident, all right? Medicare is going to pay for their accident if they go to the hospital.
yes, with some asterisks.
Okay, that's what we need to know.
So, right, yeah, that's something very, very important. I know there's a really good savings for when senior citizens have Medicare Parts A and B and they completely opt out. So they're paying nothing for medical coverage, and they won't have any medical coverage. But there are some things that aren't going to be covered by Medicare. And keep in mind, like long-term care won't be covered by Medicare. Transportation to and from doctor's appointments won't be covered by Medicare. Having somebody come to your home to take care of you, there's things that are not going to be covered by Medicare. So that's very important, and people really need to understand that. You're also responsible for your deductibles, your co-pays, your co-insurance. So even somebody on Medicare, if they even just elect at least the $50,000 or the $250,000, then at least they have something from their auto policy too. So in that case, if it goes under Medicare, but they have all these bills for co-insurance, co-pays, they can turn that into their auto insurance too. So it's covered by Medicare and their auto policy.
So they shouldn't. They should keep something because
Yes.
they're gonna get some bills.
Yes,
I mean,
and I'm sure there's
and
going
those
to
are
be
big
some.
ones.
Oh
Those
yeah,
can
especially
be-
going to emergency
Yes.
room.
Those can drain you. The ones, well, if you have to go into a care facility.
Oh,
Remember,
exactly.
$5,000 a month.
Right. And I'm sure that's kind of an unpopular-ish opinion because I know everybody wants to say, but insurance
Right.
is one of those things nobody likes to pay. I pay insurance. I don't like to pay my premiums, but I also want the proper coverage if something happens to myself or my family, or if I, heaven forbid, injure or kill somebody else. I want there to be that right coverage. So
Well, and I think the good thing was when they did some of the reform is they finally did give people some choices.
Yes.
Because like if you're
Yes.
somebody, hey, you're not driving a lot. Maybe you're only driving a couple times a month or whatever. You're less of a risk out on the road. So why should I be paying a higher rate in a sense as opposed to the person who's
Yeah.
driving every day and says, hey,
Right.
I might want that unlimited medical just because, or here's the other thing too. Like right now, what's going on when people are unemployed and maybe they're not on their health insurance right now?
That's-
How does that play into this?
So that's a big thing too. So when this change takes place, and if somebody opts for, let's say, okay, I have qualified health insurance that covers me 100% for auto accidents, so I'm going to choose $250,000. And a year down the road, you unfortunately lose your job and you lose your health insurance. After 30 days without health insurance, if you don't notify your agent, you have nothing. So again, just being careful and knowing, and I wouldn't think everybody would know you lost your job, you lost your health insurance, you have all these things going through your mind. You're not thinking about calling your insurance agent.
Yeah, especially on
to
your
add
car,
coverage
right?
back on, yeah.
Because you paid the premium and you think, hey, I'm okay.
Yeah, so I like that steps were taken. I hope more steps continue to be taken, but it's also something to be very careful of too with what options you choose.
I know with the no fault, I mean, there's been the good and the bad with it. I've always thought the good is like, okay, I hit you, your insurance company's going to take care of your car, my insurance company takes care of my
Right.
car. But are there times that you can still sue though? Is there? I
Yes.
mean, okay, can
Yeah.
you get into that a little bit?
So if right now in Michigan, you can be sued for total death, of course, death, total disfigurement, and total disablement if you're at fault in an accident. Outside of Michigan, though, you can be sued for anything and everything. So if you're driving your car in Ohio and heaven forbid, get into an accident, somebody can sue you for their medical bills, and that's where your liability kicks in to cover that. But in Michigan, you're a little bit protected right now, but that's all again changing in July. If somebody opts for, I had a senior citizen and they chose 0, and they have all these co-pays, deductibles. Now they can come after me for their out-of-pocket expense because even though they chose 0, I'm responsible now as the at-fault driver. So we're anticipating more lawsuits in the state of Michigan. Lawyers have already kind of come in and they're hungry and ready to go. So
They're already locked and loaded.
This no-fault state is going to remain no fault, but if you're at fault, you could
Right.
have some big liabilities
Well,
there.
I think that's what people realize too. Like because especially here, we're back and forth over the line in Ohio. Is that you go by that state's laws,
Right.
And we got 50 states with 50 different laws in
Right.
terms of that. And sometimes it's a joke because, like, I know my wife, she got hit, and he had no insurance in Ohio, and there was no real big penalty for not having insurance. We went to court, and it
Right.
was like she got $25 for showing up, and he still didn't have insurance. He couldn't pay the $150 fine, but yet my insurance company got stuck with the bill to fix our car.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's a great thing. I know it's unfortunate when other people don't have insurance. It's frustrating, especially when they're at fault. But Michigan, honestly, at least before the reform, and I think even after the reform, is the best coverage you can get. Unlimited medical is outstanding. No other state offers that. We've unfortunately had clients in our office that it's paid out millions of dollars for. We had somebody who was in a coma for 3.5 years. It paid out over $4 million to take care of this person.
I know,
and you just don't get that anywhere else. So the unlimited medical, while expensive, if you end up needing it, it's fantastic.
Well, that's the thing, and you never know when that accident's going to happen,
Right?
Or
You never know when
And you
I'm
hope
gonna
it doesn't
come
happen
across
to
this
you.
Table either.
yeah,
You really don't.
right.
I could come across right now.
Keep your 6-footer.
Your auto
or you're
insurance isn't going to help you with
you'll
that.
you'll be in the danger zone. You come
Yeah.
6 feet. I'll take you for 5 seconds.
We got into it on a golf course one time, and he wanted a piece of the prone, and I took him down.
I had him.
The only thing protecting you guys is the social distancing.
He was
right
gonna-
now,
this was
right?
He
This
was
is-
going to need unlimited
this
medical
was
when I was
before.
done with him.
This was before.
Okay.
This was last summer.
I put him in a coma and then I brought him back. Put him in a sleeper hold, though.
So
guys.
you and your sister kind of run it,
Right.
Amanda.
Yep.
Now, obviously, you're the smarter one. You kind of run the show.
No, I'm not.
Really?
No, Amanda, I will give her kudos all day long.
Oh, I
She
hope
is
she's
so-
not watching.
Whoa.
I hope she's not
She
watching.
knows this. We make a
There
really
you
good
go.
team. Amanda
There
is
you go,
so
Polly.
like
Real good.
Just so the viewers
just
know,
dropped
I mess
your-
with her a lot.
They just
She
dropped
knows
with
I'm
her
not
coverage.
serious. Actually, I kinda was serious.
She just dropped your coverage.
No, Amanda is super duper smart. Like there's times where I have coverage questions that I'm like, how would you handle this? Or like she's my kind of go-to, and really for the whole office, if there's kind of a tricky situation, she's just very, very smart. I do the financial side, the marketing side, relationships with companies, and we both write insurance, sell insurance,
Yeah.
but she's the smarter one.
But I
She's
think
older, she's wiser.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, remember that statement.
So your dad, he's still involved as well.
Yeah, yep. I
Right.
actually just saw him in the office the other day. Yeah,
Very cool.
he touches base with clients, and we keep him busy.
But your agency has quite a bit of history, though, that I think
Yes.
a lot of people aren't aware of. How long has that agency?
1930. From my understanding, it's the longest standing business in Temperance as far as insurance. It's always been an insurance agency. It's changed its name multiple times throughout the years. But yes, it's been around since 1930, and that building has been an insurance agency.
That's
ever
crazy.
Since.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. Well, if you go back, there's some cool pictures of that building and the guy who started. And I think at one time, too, he did something as a telegraph operator or something, too, out of the insurance agency of doing messages like for Western Union or whatever. Yeah, so
A lot of
it's
history there.
Now, your dad purchased it. How did he get in the insurance industry? I mean, what brought him to?
So the long
agency.
story
Yeah.
short, my mom was pregnant with my oldest sister. They were on food stamps, struggling, and somebody's like, why don't you start off with Farm Bureau? This is what it looks like. He kind of thought it was a joke, like, okay, they pay you $1,000 a month to get started. So he's like, well, I'll just take that, find something else. But nope, he dove in and just built his business up, went from Farm Bureau to another independent agency. He was actually working at Taylor's Rural Urban on Lewis
yeah, I
Avenue.
Your
remember
dad
Yeah.
really wouldn't have took that and got something started. He's not that kind of guy.
No, but the funny thing is though, he had that thought process like, well, I'll take this for now while I look for something else. But he dove into
just
insurance.
to try it, right?
Yeah.
They did that before. The insurance
I
companies
tell you,
would
your
do
dad
that.
is a good guy.
Oh, he's amazing.
I mean,
Oh, and he
Yeah.
loves
He
rock and
really
roll,
is.
which makes him even
I, think
cooler.
I don't know if a lot of viewers don't know, but he actually donated his kidney
He did.
Right.
to one of his clients.
Yep. Client's son. Yeah. Yep.
So
Oh, I'm glad, Paul. Don't look at me. I ain't giving you any kidney or anything.
My dad only has one left. You can't have that one.
Yeah,
Okay. He's got to
exactly.
keep that
He's
one. But
good.
yeah, he did that.
No, he's really a neat person.
Mm-hmm.
And your agency, car insurance is complicated.
Very complicated.
Because all of
Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be, but
We
it
wish
is.
it wasn't. And
Gosh.
Michigan in particular is complicated. So.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, though, too. We forget our homeowners insurance.
Yep.
That's another thing. Your home's your biggest asset. Fill us in on some of the things we should be looking out for on homeowners policies.
I guess a home's a little bit more standard. A lot of policies are very similar, but one of the biggest things we see is the liability limit's too low. So again, somebody comes to your house, gets injured, and you get sued. We have a case going on right now.
Amanda's commenting. She's upset with me. I
Oh.
screwed up.
Well, what's new, Paul?
No, I'm sorry, Amanda. What's new?
She'll get over it. She'll be
At
good.
least you didn't mess up her name, but no, it's just making sure your liability limit on the home is high enough in case something happens. Somebody comes over. People are inviting people over all the time. If you have aggressive dogs, make sure it's high. Water backup. Some pump failures are one of the biggest losses on home policies, and so many people have finished basements and either have no coverage or very low coverage. So we've seen people come to us that have, $2,500 of coverage, $5,000, and they have a full finished basement, and it really should be $40,000. You don't think how quickly those could add up. My sister Amanda just had a water claim, and it took up all of her $25,000 of coverage, and they just wrote her a check, and they're like, it's more than that. Like, just here you go. So.
Oh, I've seen it because I spent time in the restoration industry. So when it comes to a water backup, just your cleanup to get the water out of there, get mold out of there, cut drywall and so on, you'll go through $5,000-$10,000 like it's nothing. And people don't realize that because you're usually going to tear up the carpet.
Just furniture alone.
Oh yeah, furniture or your furnace, things of that nature.
Your washer and dryers.
Washer and dryers,
there.
they get water's the worst thing. I mean, there's no good thing for your house, but I'll tell you what, when your house floods or whatever, I'd rather have a fire than I would have a flood any day of the week.
Right,
It's
water just
easier to
gets
work.
in places
Oh,
and
it
goes
does.
everywhere, and you have to make sure the mold's not going to come back, and
Oh, it's
So
horrible.
how's that new baby of yours doing?
Oh, she's so good. She's so cute.
Did you ever end up getting her in the Halloween thing I got her? No.
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she wrote that a few times.
She's a cutie.
Her eyes, I told my husband the other day, I will never be able to tell her, no, there's something about her eyes. They're bright blue. She's got dark lashes, and they just sparkle. Like, she looks at you and smiles, and it's like, it just melts your heart.
You
Oh my
can't
gosh.
tell daughters no.
Yes, you
I have
can.
two
You tell
daughters.
them no. I tell
no,
them I
you
know
can't.
all the time.
Yeah,
They
you
hate
wait.
that.
You wait till those girls grow up a little bit, and they don't tell you everything, and they have that secret society with their mother. Don't tell your father. Oh yeah, and then Tommy comes around the back door. Oh yeah, you just wait.
Not kind of sure what you got going on at your house, Al, but
Yeah.
I don't know about.
Yeah, you guys all say that. I had two daughters, one for each ear. It was stereo. But anyways.
I'm not going to lie, though, having a 4-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and a 6-month-old in the same house right now,
Oh, that's a lot of
all day
work.
long, every day. Well, you got all your kids, but I know they're a little bit
It's
older,
tough
but
working
it is
from home with
it
them.
is a lot.
Well, that's the hard part because a lot of times
Well,
you get on the phone and all of a sudden the dog starts barking. You run to shut the door or this, or you're trying to do something. It's
My son, he punches my 5-year-old Giuseppe. He punches really hard.
Yeah.
Hard, and his hands are his fists are about like that. So when it feels like it's going through you when he hits you from behind. So I'm on the phone. It's like,
Oh, I know.
he'll be punching me, and it's like it's really hard to separate the at-home work because I'm not just going to sit in my bedroom and wait for the phone ring and know,
Right.
and I have to get on Zoom meetings and do stuff like that. But it's like, I'll be downstairs playing with the kids and the phone going. It's like it's hard for them to understand.
time out,
Hey,
guys.
gotta
Like-
go.
Right.
And then then it just keeps rolling. And 2 hours later,
Well, so I got grandsons, and I think it's something with little boys because there's always that surprise attack that you're not expecting from them. All of a sudden you're walking down the hall, boom, or whatever. It's like last night, my one grandson comes in and he just smacks me in the head, and then he starts laughing about it.
Yeah.
I thought I'd wake you up. Oh, great. But I think little boys are kind of like that. They just,
gosh, this weather. Cheer up, people. Don't worry. The sun's coming out this weekend. We got
well, Saturday's supposed to be great.
66 Saturday and 70
And Indian
Sunday.
Creek Zoo open Saturday? What's the first?
I believe they
I
are.
saw May 1st.
I think they are May 1st. I think. Not
Just
sure
thought it-
exactly.
Well, our golf courses are open. That's a
Golf
good
courses,
thing.
yeah.
Right.
But,
Andy, you golfer? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
oh, yeah.
save that 20. I'll get it back.
Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful weekend. But gosh, it's on and off with the rain and the clouds. There ain't nothing like having cloudy days for a couple
Well,
weeks in
with
a row,
everything
man.
that's
It's tough
going
on
on, we just
everybody.
need some sunshine.
We need some sunshine.
You go out in your backyard, you can just okay, it's good. There are positive signs that are going on right now. I think
Yeah.
we just got to get through this. I mean, there's some cases that are starting to drop. I think we're just going to live differently. Just going to have to be safe everywhere we go for a while. They'll get the vaccine. But I think overall, and we keep saying this, we will be in a better position down the road for when this happens
Absolutely,
again.
yeah.
We're going to know.
Forced into it.
We got forced into it. You know, I mean, we sat there at the township hall. It was like we didn't have any real protocols of like, okay, if you get a pandemic, what do we do?
Yeah.
It's a learning experience. So, you know, I think we'll get
but we
through it.
reacted fast and
Well, we did.
quick to it.
And we've had
A lot
right.
of time before the governor made decisions, we were already doing stuff, thinning out the building and, you know, distancing. And stuff.
Yep.
We were taking.
And we had the building sanitized. This is going to spawn also some new businesses. You're going to see cleaning companies coming in and like spraying every day. I mean, it's, you know,
Yeah.
some good's going to come out of it where you're going to see different things going on.
A UV light installed on our furnace. I guess it kills molds and bacterias, and so that was really, really good for us. So
Yeah, so we'll come out of it, but it's going to be kind of different though when we do go back to work into offices and so on, because we have been quarantined this long. It's like, okay.
I'm looking forward to it. It's weird driving around town and seeing like signs on everybody's doors and the businesses kind of closed. But I mean, people are doing really great to work from home, and this community has really come together and helped each other out.
Well, here's the other thing.
well, like the Adopt a Senior program. I
Yeah.
mean, really, every single senior got adopted and is getting a gift bag or
That's
of some
fantastic.
sort. So that was really cool to see.
See, I think you should do that for all us senior citizens. Adopt us and send us some
Adopt
stuff.
a
If that
senior
would be,
citizen.
that'd be good, Paul. Head that up. I'll take a car. Thank you. There is another good note that I read though this morning, which I think sometimes doesn't matter what party you're in, that a politician might get it right. And out of the governor, she is proposing that frontline workers get tuition assistance to go to college. You know, the people that have worked in the grocery stores, people that have been on the front lines, who maybe have not had an opportunity. She's kind of taking a look at it like the GI Bill when people came back from war, because let's be real on it. This has been a war. I mean, when you have to shutter in your house and do all the things we're doing, and we got people out in these stores and so on trying to keep things going, feeding us. So I think that probably will happen. So I think that's a good thing that might come out of this too.
For sure. So just so everybody knows, some of the workers are back at Township Hall, the critical workers. The drive-through is not quite yet open for the Treasurer's Department.
We got the night box though.
So you got the box. You can drop off your bills. The assessing department is in there working every day, and so is the clerk's department. So
Construction's coming back May
construction's
7th.
coming back for commercial and residential May 7th.
Right.
So they'll be back to work. So building permits, we're getting a lot of calls about those. You'll be able to come on in, and not come on in, but you'll be able to
Get a hold of Dennis.
Get a hold of Dennis and get those things taken care of.
Start getting things issued.
So
Because construction's important. I mean,
it's coming back. So slowly but surely. But recycling is still on every Tuesdays at the Township Hall. We get calls about that every week.
Yeah, what's
we
going
don't
on?
have quite an update for Summerfest yet, but it's not looking good. I was hoping by now possibly the governor would give us a little more window of, hey, here's what the future holds. But, you know, we're really not getting that. And it's probably the best that we cancel it. I'll be making a formal announcement May 5th about what's going on, but it's not looking good. I mean,
Well,
let's
get
be honest.
right.
You know, June 11th, that ain't too far off.
No.
Right.
That ain't too far off, and most people aren't going to be ready to be in a crowd of 15,000 people
No, that'll be
because
tough.
it ain't going to be gone by then.
Well,
so
no,
let's
and
be honest. If you think the governor's going to allow a crowd like that, you're out of your mind. Because that's where you could have a rebirth of it.
right.
You know,
well,
what I
that's
mean?
the thing.
All it takes is one person being a crowd like that has it. It's over.
All those
So it's
festivals
just-
are going to be in
it's
the
just-
same boat.
It's not in the.
Well, hopefully
Cards.
we'll have the Temperance Street Fest.
Hopefully
You know,
that's
that's 'cause-
August 15th.
That's
so-
August.
Yeah,
I
so
mean-
hopefully that's a little bit down the road, and I know
But I can tell
you're
you
working
what,
on that.
People are canceling events
Right.
already in July and August.
I know.
They're canceling them.
Well, a lot of the big concerts in Detroit were all canceled, all the June and stuff.
Well, the thing is for us with Summerfest is ready to go.
Right.
We've been planning it for 4 months.
Exactly.
And the people that worked on the committee worked hard to get it ready. So, I mean, that's why we can wait so long to pull the trigger. We're not continually working on it. It's already been worked on.
Right.
The money's raised, for the most part. And we'll definitely be doing it next year. We're not going to postpone it. It'll be one of the things we cancel and just do next year.
Yeah, and then we'll probably have Blizzard Fest. But yeah, it's tough. Like, I mean, the Rolling Stones got canceled. Who knows if they're going to be around next year? I mean, those guys are like 75 years old. I wanted to go see them. So it's kind of like, whoa, I hope they're going to be back. You never know. But, so, so Detroit's canceled their fireworks because they get like 100,000 people down there in June. So Duggan, he canceled that. That's a big deal. So, yeah, I think it's going to be the way of the world for a while.
So, Al, you brought up nominating a senior, adopt a senior. Mm-hmm. I think you should run with that. You brought it up. That's a good idea. Adopt a senior.
Oh, Barron's Insurance just got a notification here from Amanda. They want to donate $10,000.
Oh.
Thank you.
Always happy
Thank
to
you,
help.
Amanda.
I'd love to talk about that.
I tell you what, they are always willing to donate.
Oh, they've been
always
a great
willing
company.
to sponsor. They were our first sponsor the first year. They jumped on with Blizzard Fest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's a tough thing to do.
Oh, it
when
is.
You don't know how many people are going to come. You were our top sponsor, right?
Yeah, we were
top
the first title
first
sponsor.
year. They didn't bat an eye, and then they spent a couple $1,000s on hot chocolate too. So they're always,
well, they also
in the community, always helping out, always donating, always, we really appreciate.
Well, we do, and especially they also sit on the Lewis Avenue redevelopment committee.
Very involved in the.
So because your business is downtown, you didn't
to us, yeah.
Right, you didn't have to do that, but they did.
Yeah.
And we still have that, and we've got more work to do downtown Temperance. So we appreciate your community service.
Some of that work's going to be happening, I think, starting Monday.
Yeah, Steve over Mannequin Smith.
Car park project over there with the fence, and then they'll be painting the stripes over there. Will be painted green. They're doing some little bit of repair work. I know the wall keeps getting hit at Sunoco.
Oh, I know, poor Abe.
Gosh. But we're gonna get that looked at and taken care of.
Car park. What we should probably take a look at is see if we could raise a few funds to continue that black fence. Looks really nice.
Actually, we needed to add that on the agenda. The wall.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about it because we got to get a little bit more information on that.
We need to put that on. Yeah.
So
I knew we'd forget something. It's all
I
right.
didn't forget it.
So yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
So yeah. So thank the sponsors real quick: Barron Insurance, Silly and Cabinets, Indian Creek Zoo, Jacob Supply and Malls King. We thank you guys. But yeah, I think a lot of positives going on still in the community. Everybody's waiting for this to be lifted, get back to work, and get things rolling again. And we appreciate everybody's patience, but we're doing everything we can do from the township level. We're still working every day. Taking your phone calls, doing the best we can. It's a little difficult now. When I get calls about certain things that I just can't answer over the phone. So that's been difficult. I can't transfer calls. I have to tell people to call back, and that's frustrating for people. So I appreciate the patience, but we're doing the best we can.
Yeah, and things still are going on. I mean, we take the phone calls for the potholes and drainage and all those kind of things too. So, like I had one lady, it was kind of neat. She called up, and I said, "Don't worry about it. I'll ride my bike over and take pictures of it." He was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Yeah, I ride my bike around your house all the time." Yeah. And went out there, snapped the pictures, got it in. So nice. we're still doing those kind of things.
I got
for
a
people.
meeting about the roundabout today, so we'll see about the roundabout. Final prices are being talked about today. So the road commission and our engineers. So that should be interesting.
Well, good. Well, we need it. So that corner looks a lot better though right now too, though, with the old Michigan Tavern level. That was
a nice one.
Yes,
man.
it was. Man, yes, it was. So
what else is going on, Al?
Not a whole lot. Just I'm working on my campaign in terms of things that I want to do.
Running for treasurer?
Exactly, running for treasurer.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do for us?
I think a different...
People talk a big game when they run for politics. Then they get in, they realize they can't do half of what they said.
Right. Being a student of the political process, I take a look at things and say, when you're elected, you should be doing more. Just because you're a treasurer doesn't mean you're always just focused on the transactions. You're an elected official. In my opinion, when you're the treasurer, you should be part of the economic development team. Okay, that's important for a community. You should also, when we take a look at protecting the assets of the township, we should be looking and taking a look and protecting the assets for everybody. Their home values, their roads, okay? The drainage our ditches, all those things are important to a community to protect. And I think that's, as treasurer, you can do that. I don't think we've ever really had that in the past. And so that's when I am going to take a look at things differently. Mm-hmm. And the reason why that people are elected is because it usually is to give some change. You don't want to hire somebody who's going to be in there maybe for 30 years and always, well, this is the way we've always done it. There could be new technology out there that's never even been taken a look at for efficiencies and so on. So there's just a couple of things I'm taking a look at.
And you always have your hand in multiple things. So when he says that, I know you mean it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like to keep a beat on different things.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things I'm taking a look at.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So we got some questions. When the park's going to reopen? Our parks are open, just not White, Carr, Samaria, and Parmalee. Okay, we have multiple parks.
Anstead's rocking. I've seen people there all the
Anstead
time.
Park. You have the new Wheeler Preserve Park off of Section and Whiteford Center. That is a great new walking trail. And then you have Indian Creek. So you have 3 big parks that are open. And then keep in mind, most neighborhoods, okay, of your older neighborhoods have what you call pocket parks. Okay, They have parks within the neighborhoods that you can go to and walk and do whatever. So keep in mind, the parks are open. And when keep an eye on when the governor lifts her stay-at-home order. That's probably when they'll reopen. But the park board oversees that, so keep an eye on for what action they take. I'll just probably put it out on Facebook as well for them.
Yeah, the other encouraging thing is that when I go out and ride my bike, it's really neat to see families out riding bikes together. I've seen people on bikes that probably have not been on bikes for years. So I just got to kind of warn them, you might want to wear a helmet.
Well, my brother-in-law works for Reggie's, and I tell you what, they can't keep bikes on the shelves.
I know, it's
They're backed
great.
up to fix bikes for weeks.
Right, people are getting into it. And I hope they stay into it, because it is a good activity. And, Paul, you kind of mentioned something like our older neighborhoods. Guess what, folks? A lot of them have been repaved.
Yeah.
They're great places to ride your bikes with your kids and so on and walk. So,
everybody wants to be outside. I've been trying to buy a trampoline online, all out of stock. But thankfully, I have somebody that's bringing us one. So
that'll be good.
Everybody wants to be outside right now because it's so hard when you're cooped in day after day.
Oh, and especially when you got boys that want to release that energy. They get wound up.
It's the days you can't get outside
that's tough.
You know what I mean? When it's nice out. We're out, we're doing
Same
stuff,
here.
you know what I mean? And but it's the days when you're cooped in, like today, rainy, you know what I mean? It can be hard, you know. So, well, thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for the update on the insurance, and let me know what I need to do. Yeah, keep me updated.
Got you taken care of.
This is probably a good time to review your insurance while you're at home. Pull out all your stuff. Take a look at your coverages. So
you got to look at ways to save, get creative, and. That's something, obviously, that people really need to get in tune to, especially, if you're the older age, as far as coverage and Medicare and, all the coverage you need. So
and people can give us a call, whether you're a client or not. We're happy to look. Your policy is over. We're happy to give you a second opinion, go over options. Amanda and I, we're at home, ready and waiting. So
I know I had a review, and the money that I saved, I was able to pick up $1 million general liability policy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did.
Which was good. Like what you said, if somebody comes to my house or they get hurt, whatever, I've got additional
so Al
coverage.
has a lot of liability coverage, so just keep that in mind. If you
no visitors, no visitors. Don't bring your dog.
He's covered.
Yeah, exactly. Don't jump in my backyard with that dog.
Get hurt at Al's house.
Yeah, come on over.
But this has been a good opportunity for a lot of churches too. Most churches are posting on our Facebook page, Bedford Township Community News and Events, which is not affiliated with the township.
Right.
It's separate from the government. Okay, so that's Al and I's page. But a lot of people are having their church services on there Sunday and Saturdays. So if you want to watch a church service, tune in to Bedford Township Community News and Events on a Sunday morning. There's about 10 of them going.
I've been doing that. It's kind of
Yeah.
it's really interesting because now you get to see some of these different pastors that you may have never seen
like
before.
Pastor Lou from St. Paul's,
Right.
like, man, he went from having 100 viewers on he hit 600 last night.
Right.
From going to that page. There's a lot of viewers on there. Yeah. And churches that aren't, into the technology, you need to.
You need to because
guess what? Your people can't sit at home without having a church service for 3 months. Mm-hmm. They need that community. They need that, they need the word, and so.
I sure do
really
miss
good.
a live worship service, though. I miss that so
well,
much.
because it's just not the same.
It's
online.
not the same.
No.
It's not.
I don't know what they could. I know you probably need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to make it like it's a
like a TV
can
show
hear it,
kind of like it's a sound studio and the whole nine yards.
It's definitely not the same.
But
then
the hard
you have some glitches to where it's going in and out and
right.
So you're gonna have that.
Yeah.
The connection's not good. It's all through connection. So it's like if it's not a good connection or internet's down.
Right.
I mean,
which never happens ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that I think that's a thing too that we're all starting to realize is that human touch is that we really do miss being around other people. Mm-hmm.
I'm an extrovert. This has been tough. It's been tough. Like there's been a couple days emotionally where I'm just like, I need to be around people. It's a struggle.
And we always took that for granted. Of just, hey, let's get in the car and go here or go to this restaurant or go to the mall or let's go to this movie, whatever. We really took all that for granted. And so I know that's been the hardest part for me. Same way. I like being around people. I like working on committees, doing volunteer stuff. And all of a sudden it's kind of like, whoa, just stopped, so.
It's tough.
So just so everybody knows, we're still moving forward with some projects. The controls job at the library is
that's a big one.
Is being worked on. That's going to save about 15% of energy. We've done LED lights at the library, so that's saved about $1,400 a month. Over there in bills. So that's something that Al and I have done is really get creative with. How can we save money at Township Hall? And I'm glad we've done that the last 2 years because guess what?
It's paying off.
We're going to be seeing 50 to 75% cuts from the state to the townships and our funding, our quarterly funding that we get. Because the township only keeps 1.5% of taxes.
Right.
Everything else goes to the state, and then we get money each quarter from the state.
And the governor
and it's
has
not
to
what we give them.
Right.
So so I'm glad we've created an avenue to have huge savings at Township Hall. We've negotiated every contract, to where we used to pay $90 an hour to have cars fixed, and our maintenance.
We don't do that.
We renegotiated it to $65 an hour plus 30% off parts.
Our phone system,
LED phone system.
That was a big.
We negotiated down the phone system.
They dropped
contract.
the price of their lines. Usually they want to come and up them, right?
They called us to up the price. I said, "No,
Yeah.
you're going to drop it, or we're going to leave you." And they did $1.50 per
and
line.
that's your supervisor, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
That's
what we did.
So we are in a
That's what we
position where
did.
we saved a ton of money.
Yeah.
And we got
over
new
the
phones
past 2
too.
years. Yeah, and we got new phones
For free.
I was at that meeting. I remember you guys talking about
so
that.
I mean, there's some good things there because we're a little more prepared for a disaster like this, But yeah,
No, there's a lot of good things going on, and we'll continue on and always taking a look at budgets and
there's
can we
always
save
areas
some
to
money.
save. There's always areas to think outside the box and get creative, and one of them is volunteers.
Exactly.
We have people in this community that want to volunteer. We're removing every neighborhood snow. Okay, when it snows for under $10,000 a year.
I know that's incredible.
And I got laughed at when I first talked about getting people in the community to do it at seasonal rate wages, $14 an hour,
and
they're
did.
doing it.
They're doing it, and
every year.
people like it.
So it's been great. So. Yeah, the food drive.
Both of them went really good.
Sunday, you were out there, Al. I was. out there.
The one on Lewis Avenue, MCOT. I mean, they were lined up.
No,
the other one for
Citizens,
MCOT and CFFR.
Dale Track and Tim Janney and Aaron Adler and
I think they
Caroline
collect a lot
Track
of food.
and D. Janney and who else was there?
Dale Track was there.
Bob, I can't forget his name. Yeah. So they collected a whole truckload of food. I mean, when I'm talking a truckload, it was like almost a bus, a half.
Right.
Bus
It
full.
was a good size.
So it was awesome. So they did a really good job. We appreciate them.
Do you guys have any upcoming food drives that you know of?
I haven't gotten anything from MCOP
No, but
lately.
we could. The community foundation called me about possibly organizing one. There'll be more, definitely, because I can tell you the community's in need for sure.
Oh, it is.
You know,
There's no doubt. Like you said, it all goes back to people are waiting for those unemployment checks, which are finally starting to hit. So once they get that, life will be a little bit better for them.
Yeah. Is that okay to scratch like this? See how I did that?
I don't know.
Is that okay?
You're not touching your face. I think
I
that's
did
fine.
not touch my face, and it wasn't even close.
I wouldn't touch that face either. I don't know who would touch that face.
Well,
Stephanie must have been sight impaired when she met him.
I don't know why she married me,
Your
to be
senior
quite honest
picture
with
that you posted, I was gonna comment on it. Like you look like you were like 12. I'm not
Maybe
gonna,
it was my 8th grade senior picture.
He was he was a 22-year-old senior. People don't understand that.
Dang it!
I
I
found
found that
a
out.
Backstreet Boy on that photo quite a bit. That you look like a
he
Backstreet
does look
Boy.
like a little bit like the Justin Timberlake. Yeah,
Come on,
I
Al,
see
throw
it.
us a beat down.
Justin
Throw us a
Timberlake
beat-
is
throw us a little
NSYNC,
beat
Al.
out.
See it? Boom, chicka, chicka, boom, chicka, chicka, boom.
All right. Well, we appreciate the viewers. Look for us same time next Thursday.
Yeah, thank all
We're
our
gonna have some
guests.
more good guests, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And,
You guys
Andy,
are a hoot.
appreciate
Andy.
Tutors and Beyond being our sponsor and setting this up for us.
And get those people's names right. You know, you need to start getting that.
Yeah. But other than that, man, that's a
out.
wrap.
That's right.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Be safe.
Yes. Be safe.